Hello, hello. Bant Spirits is what is on the table today with a bunch of new upgrades from Shadows of Innistrad Remastered. The Spirits deck's an interesting one. There are three ways to build it, and they're all good now. You're all probably familiar with the Mono Blue Spirits deck, where you've got like Curious Obsession, you set up your one drop, play a bunch of counter spells. Okay, so that's like version 1. You have version 2, which plays a still fairly interactive game plan with blue-white spirits. You have Selfless Spirit, Spell Queller, as well as your kind of like Mono Blue stuff. You still have quite a lot of counter spells. And then today we're looking at the third version, which is Bant Spirits, and you're basically looking to use Collected Company to leverage a number of really strong 3-drops that the deck has to offer. Let's get into it. We'll start off with the new things. Start with firstly Spell Queller, which is a huge addition, the most important card, the biggest reason to play white, the biggest reason to also play green at this point as well. 1 white blue, 2/3 flash flying. When Spell Queller enters the battlefield, exile target spell. When Spell Queller leaves the battlefield, the exiled card's owner may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Here's your 3 mana counter spell on a creature. You can protect it with Selfless Spirit, you can protect it with Rattle Chains. It's great. It's amazing. It's the best card in the deck. The other new addition is Selfless Spirit, one of the cards you can use to protect Spell Queller, but 1 and a white, 2/1 with flying, sacrifice a creature you control, get indestructible at the end of the turn. We've got 2 in the main, we've got another 2 on the board versus decks where you're going to be playing against sweepers. The card is excellent, again, protects Spell Queller, protects the rest of your board. Super good. Surrounding that, we obviously have Collected Company, 3 and a green. Look at the top 6 cards of your library, put up 2 creature cards with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield, put the rest of the bottom of your library in any order. This is the reason we're playing green. We've got some other sideboard cards as well. We're basically looking to leverage Collected Company to go wide and flood the board with spirits with really powerful abilities. Let's go to the rest of the creatures. So at 1 we've got Mausoleum Wanderer, your best 1-drop, blue, flying. When a spirit enters the battlefield, it gets +1/+1, and then you can sacrifice it, counter target instant sorcery spell, unless its controller pays X. Super powerful, puts a lot of pressure on your opponent, and also has a lot of value as a counterspell. Obviously, you're buffing it with your Lords. We've got a couple of our Supreme Phantoms here. We've also got Empyrean Eagle here up at the top. Then we also have 2 copies of Spectral Sailor. The weaker 1-drop, you can play 4 of these in Mono Blue because you're looking to suit it up with Curious Obsession, but here we're really using it as a card advantage engine. In the Bant version of the deck, you actually use that 3 and a blue draw card ability a lot. It's really valuable versus mid-range control. It's really valuable if you have to play something like the Mirror, where everything's just about drawing as many cards as possible. Really nice, but in the Bant version, we're not going all out on it because we don't need to have like infinite blue 1-drops to then suit up with enchantments. At 2, we already mentioned our 2 Selfless Spirits. We've also got our 4 Supreme Phantoms, that 2-mana Lord. We've got 4 copies of Shacklegeist, best your opponent's attackers and blockers. Rattle Chains, 4 copies, of course, is excellent. 1 in a blue, flash, ETB, target spirit gets hexproof, and then gives the rest of your spirit cards flash. Super powerful in conjunction with like Selfless Spirit, something like Skyclave Apparition up here for removal later on. Rattle Chains, obviously, incredible in spirits. 3 copies of Lofty Donor. We are playing some counter spells. One of the things with Collected Company is that you need to keep your creature count fairly high. You have the ability between like Mausoleum Wanderer, Spell Queller, some other interaction with a Skyclave Apparition that, hey, you have some counter spells on creatures, but Lofty Donor also helps you kind of shore that up. There are other cards you could play in this slot as well. You can choose to play and tune a little bit towards having more counter spells. You can play something like Brazen Borrower for some more bounce effects. There's some options. But 3 Lofty Donor here, 1 in a blue, counter target spell unless control pays 1, and then if you control a creature flying, which is all of them except for Skyclave Apparition, count on that spell unless its controller pays 4 instead. We don't play Geist there, we can't make it 1 mana, so Lofty Donor is just better in this deck. At 3 then, so we've got our 4 copies of Spell Queller, obviously he's just incredible. 1 copy of Empyrean Eagle, just another Lord effect, 1 white blue, other creatures you control with flying at +1/+1, obviously 2/3 flyer itself. Nice. 4 copies of Skyclave Apparition, our like key piece of removal. 1 white, ETB, exile up to 1 target non-token permanent you don't control with mana value 4 or less. Leaves the battlefield, exile controller gets an XX, where X is the mana value of the exile card. Fair enough. We've got a bunch of ways to protect it, between our Rattle Chains, the Spell Quellers itself, the Selfless Spirits. Excellent. And then we've got 1 copy of Catilda, 1 white, legendary creature, Spirit Warlock, flying, lifelink, proc from vampires, and then power and turns equals to the number of permanents and spirits you control. And it counts enchantments as well, which could matter after sideboarding, and it's got a disturb ability as well. But mostly you're playing it as a big, powerful flying lifelinker versus like aggro decks. It gets bigger, you go away with your spirits, drop a Catilda, all of a sudden you get to gain a bunch of life back. Awesome. Because we still are primarily white and blue, we need enough green sources to cast Collected Company, but we're kind of leaning towards the blue and white land. So you've got an Ajango, we've got an Otawara, single copy of Island if our opponent like Field of Ruins us, then we've got 1 Adakar Wastes, 4 Hallowed Fountains, 2 Hengegate Pathway, 4 Seacrab Coast, 3 Branchcloth Pathway, a Raised the Verge Thicket, a Temple Garden, 3 Botanical Sanctums, and then a Breeding Pool to round out the mana base. The sideboard, then, we've got some interesting options here. So firstly, 3 portable hull versus aggro decks, even versus mono green, where you want to get rid of the elves and like Wolfwallow Haven. We've got the extra 2 copies of Selfless Spirit for decks with sweepers. We've got an extra Catilda versus aggro. We have a Settle versus aggro as well, which is a nice one because you're playing at instant speed a lot anyway. A bunch of your creatures are flash. You have effects that give the rest of your creatures flash. Plus company. Settle is a nice surprise out of the board. Versus control mid-range decks. So we've got 2 copies of Shaper Sanctuary. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability opponent controls, you may draw a card. And we also have 2 copies of Takasha's Welcome. Whenever one or more creatures with mana value 3 or less into the battlefield you control, draw a card. Ability only triggers once each turn. Obviously, we can trigger it on ours and our opponents. The idea with Takasha's Welcome is to actually play a really long game, go wide, keep drawing cards. The difference between these two is versus creature decks that don't have a ton of removal, Takasha's Welcome is still good. Whether that be something Yorion based, or whether that be something like the Mirror again, where like just drawing as many cards as possible is important, because you're both going to go wide. Shaper Sentry, obviously, versus something like Black Red, where they're going to try and kill all your creatures, excellent. There are matchups when you bring both in. Having a mix is nice. Also, it's worth noting that Shaper Sentry gets cleaned up by Temporary Lockdown. Some of the cards that'll hit your early creatures will also hit Shaper Sentry, so that's something to watch out for. Versus Graveyard decks, we've got 2 copies of Rest in Peace, and then we've got 2 copies of Disdainful Stroke versus green, and then also things like Fires with lots of expensive spells. As said before, all 3 versions of the Spirits deck are great. I like Bant a lot, would definitely recommend. I'm going to hop into some ranked games, but if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. Also, thank you so much for all the support and stuff. And yeah, we just hit 400 subs, thank you. Ranked games, let's go. Alright, here we go, first match. See how we're doing. Okay, apparently on the play, our hand here is pretty slow. We do have a 2-drop, followed by some really good 3s, so I think I will keep this. We've got our 3 lands. Looks fairly solid. Little matchup dependent. The Shackle Guys and the Catilda are quite good versus creature decks. Looks like maybe mono white. Yeah, we do see a recruitment officer come down here. Fair enough. I'll lead with the Botanical Sanctuary just to get it out in case we draw another fast land. But hey, we've not given away anything so far. Alright, we did draw a creature from Coast. Interesting. If this can't block anyway, the Rattle Chains we can at least threaten to block if we want to. Currently, we're looking at, okay, are they going to play like a Luminarch Aspirant? Are they going to play a Thalia's Death Tenant here to pump their creatures? Do we want to trade it off? At this point, because we're behind and we're going to take some damage here, we probably do want to look at trading, which means you maybe want to play the Rattle Chains this turn. If we go Shacklegeist, next turn we can go like Skyclave Apparition, tap something down, which seems kind of reasonable. And we want to kind of lead into Catilda maybe instead. So it's either like a Rattle Chains block, or we're going to make the Shacklegeist and then look to kind of control their board a bit with Skyclave Apparition, and then have some creatures out to get Catilda. I think is a little stronger, so I'm going to go with that. Even if it means sacrificing some damage this turn. Adeline, maybe a lot of damage this time. Alright. Fair play. Well, the company's good as well. That means that this Catilda's going to be good. We just need to make sure we've got time to cast it. It's already a little bit against Rare of the Elements, but that is kind of okay. Normally I would be all in for playing the Hallowfountain. Don't want to play Hallowfountain. 2, 1. If we draw a land, then we want to keep the Django because we actually want to use it. Yes, sorry, because we're going to be paying the 2 life anyway, one way or the other. Let's go Apparition here. We'll Apparition the Adeline. And then we can decide what we want to think about blocking. Because obviously we can block the 1-1 anyway. If we look to block the 1-1, we're taking 2... Well, at least stop them attacking with the 1-1. We're taking some damage. I think this way and being able to tap down is better, because once we get Catilda in play, we'll be able to stabilize. We don't need to worry about doing damage right this second. We also, of course, have like the Mutavault they can attack with, and other stuff, depending on what the hand looks like. Yeah. Just something to stabilize the board here. Okay. That's a little bit annoying. Do we save any damage by tapping down? We take 2 from this? Or... block one of these, they have less creatures in play. 4, 1, 2. Tap down the shit. We'll do this. Fine. Hmm. Yeah, so we take 4 here. The other way we take 5, but they only have 1/1/1. And it's a decent draw. This is what we were looking for, like to save and hold on to the Ice of Django. Problem right now is that this Adeline is going to be huge. We don't really have a good answer for it. Do we want to also Skrelv as nice protection? Maybe we want a main phase company here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's look for something. So we find this Skyclave Apparition, and we find a Supreme Phantom. That's fine. We're on 7. I think we're fine to just Skyclave the Adeline away. I'm not looking to tap stuff down, so I'm going to attack with the Shacklegeist. I can't actually block. They don't have like one big threat that's worth tapping. Could be tight, especially if they have like a Brave for pro white. Does it here, right? I think that's mass. Brutal Cathar's pretty good. The interesting one where they want to take Supreme Phantom or they want to take the Skyclave Apparitions. The Skyclave Apparitions. Okay, they're gonna go for the Supreme Phantom. 1, 2, 1, 2. Maybe we have to let them. It's tough. It's tough. Brutal's an awkward one. Makes his attack a little bit worse. Wasn't prepared for it. They're just gonna come in with these. Puts down a 3. Brave Elements would win the game anyway, so I don't feel too bad about it. I think if this is the attack they're making, we look to make Catilda. If we draw a land, we can Catilda plus hold up a Django. Which would be nice. I don't want to give them a bunch of 3/3s. Unfortunately. We get a 3. Catilda currently is a 4/4. This goes to... Oh, because we need to... Scrub isn't doing that much. Maybe we have to play the Django out? I think we have to make a Tilda. They can do 1-2 damage with Skrelv. We can just tap what they play, right? I don't think we survive. We definitely don't survive if we put Halifan out. Untapped, at least. I'm gonna play the Django just so we can cast the Rattle Chains in case they have another Brutal Cathar. Then we'll say go. Ooh, if they're gonna like pass flip Brutal Cathar, is that interesting? The Shacklegeist turns off Skrelv pretty much. They have Mutable Animate. I guess I was gaining 4 Flicker. We'll see, we'll see. Again, Brave the Elements is just GG. I'm gonna do this. The minute attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have blockers to the 1/1s. You can attack. You may, I'll allow it. They're going in with everything. What does that mean? Again, protection wins. If they have a Ganja, they can fight Catilda. I think that's the only way round, because this way, fighting Catilda, if going Catilda stops it from getting the life attacking. Currently going to 0 though, it's a little risky, but we're holding the rattle chains to give Catilda Hexproof from that. Basically the card we're playing around. But if they don't have it, then this attack looks really weird. Hey, there we go. And we actually gain 5 life off of that. Ooh. That feels good. They have a recruitment officer. We'll activate that down. Oh, alright, well, I have to feel like I played that alright. So, we've got portable holes, we want the extra Catilda, do we want anything else, we want the settle, that's about it. In terms of what we want to cut, this is a matchup where I feel like cutting company is reasonable. You don't want to cut a ton, you can cut some of the other creatures just like struggle to block, that kind of thing, like the Spectral Sailors really aren't up to very much. The counter spells, excuse me, don't do well here, especially on the draw. I'm kind of fine taking these out. Shadow Geist, you slow down their sagas. That is the one thing that I hate. We just want 1-drops that make our Shadow Geist better, and obviously when you're pumping them with Phantom and all that kind of stuff, that all makes sense. I do think trimming one of these is fine. I might cut an Imperial Eagle as well. That looks about right. Selfless Spirit. All the removal is going to be XR, right? Interesting. Maybe leave one spirit. Maybe I should cut both Selfless Spirits and leave these in. And this thing's a 2-3. Alright, let's do that. I kind of like this idea. And looks reasonable. The Hallowed Fountains do hurt us a bit, but we've got like Mausoleum Wanderer into. We've got a pretty aggressive Spirits curve, to be honest. And especially if they have a slow start out of the game, we might just get ahead of them on the ground. Yeah, hopefully this shit's decent. Oh, the Shackle Geist makes this a little bit better as well. Use Shackle Geist into Wanderer Phantom. And then Rattle Chains. Kinda like that. Okay, Aspirant's interesting. Where's the counter going? Alright, counter on the Hopeful Initiate. Sure. Actually, I think the Supreme Phantom is better because it just blocks. And obviously it's more damage. The front face. I think this is especially better if we are not going to hit up. We don't currently have a third land, which is a little worrying. But we do have double white for Skyclay Apparition when we hit it. Do they bring like Portable Hole? They can counter up an Aspirant, make attacks. I think that's reasonable. They get up to 2, and then next turn you put the Aspirant on 3. The Hopeful Initiate's then attacking for 3 as well. That's what the rest of the hand looks like. They did mulligan to 6. Third land. This is just an Adeline, they tanked over this. I'll be super sad. Okay, Cathars. Okay. That is damage. You still can't roll the Aspirant, really? Yeah. Okay. We're at 10. We shot ourselves twice. Of course, the land draw is good. I think it's just kind of imperative we do this now. We still attack with the Mausoleum Wanderer because it doesn't do anything on defense. It's just a 1/1. So we maybe don't want to block this anyway because they're going to attack for 6. We go for 4. Then we untap, get Shackle Geist plus Mausoleum Wanderer. something like that. They're just on 13, that's the thing. Spirits can swing the game around very quickly. To be honest, trading the Skylight Apparition to give them a 3/3 isn't that bad. Okay, that doesn't do that anymore. Awkward. Oh, ossification's huge. Training. We go to 2, they have a Mutavault. And we have what? 2 more blockers? This isn't a blocker. That's pseudo dead. And all the creatures are way bigger than us. We can't give them a 3/3. That is just GG. Have to go to 2 and hope we can survive. Oh. Does anyone want to play this? Like we need rattle chains on D. So you can't afford to tap 2 creatures to Shackle Ghost? Yeah. When on the play, these are the draw sounds about right. Barley's big. No problem though. That is a counter. There. Animate. Yeah. Huh. Counter on itself. Makes the hopeful shit a 5. I don't think it makes this to me. And what do our blocks look like? Oh no, I'm the lieutenant. Okay. We need to block all of these. So, which creatures do you want to keep alive? I guess the answer is no. Yeah, we are just dead, right? No, let's not block anything. Are there any company draws that get us out? I don't think so. Yeah. Let's go game 3. Okay, okay. There's a bit of a stomp there. I still do like the way we sideboard is. We'll keep this. The lofty denials are a bit better on the play, but versus humans, it's just a bit of a crapshoot. Most of the cards are so cheap, they can get out so quickly. You have to get up significant tempo to actually hold it up. Well, not. You have a bunch of creatures with flash, however. Ooh. Well, we keep the Cellar Wreckage hand. We've only got 1 white source. We haven't got a War. It's not a strong draw. But, yeah. Guess we need Hallowed Fountain tapped. Come down to 6. Okay. Alright. We'll see. And the double Hallowed Fountain start actually really hurt us. I was like, oh, it's been like a turn cycle and we're on 10. What happened? Yeah. Right, hopefully initiate that zone. Technical Sanctum. We have our rattle chains. You want to use a tempo advantage. We don't want to be blocking with our creatures when we've got Cellar Wreckage. We want to be attacking with them. We did draw the extra Hallowed Fountain as well, which gives us double white. For the minute, everything's great. They are in the tank over their turn 2. Or AFK getting Doritos or something. Alright. Lieutenant. Lieutenant. I want to play this Hellfire Untapped so bad. We want the Otawara, which means we're going to get to play... So the reason why you want to play Hellfire Untapped now is if we pass with it untapped the next turn by playing it, they're going to know something's up. You have the Breeding Pool to shock next turn. Whatever. Or we can just play the Otawara. We don't want to play Otawara. This is losing percentage points. We just got to represent company, I think that's fine. I don't want them to soul read us for the Settler Wreckage, basically, that's all. But this means we're not hamstring ourselves, which is, you know, the reasonable decision. Oh, no, tap the Fowley's Lieutenant. So much respect. Alright, got a Mausoleum Wanderer. Do we even want to? Oh, they'll never expect if we play Hellfire Untapped. You have no pressure to play the Mausoleum Wanderer now. Again, these are all spirits are flash. They're good. Recruitment officer. That's unfortunate. I just send the attack. Is the Fateful Hour card the white 1-mana one in Shadows of the Past? Very funny. You can target yourself, give yourself protection. Obviously, it isn't legal in this format, but hey. We can also ambush Catilda here, which seems pretty sick. But I think I'm just going to run this out of the wreckage. Then we could play Catilda normally. If we like Catilda here and then they have something ridiculous, then we're in trouble. There are a lot of targets for that. There. Oh, is the hand just full of like... Yeah, it is just full of removal. Fair enough. Another good reason not to do that. Otawara hits our stuff as well. Yeah. Cool. We'll just move combat. We'll do this. No reason to wave hello yet. Mutavault, Skrelv. Looks good, looks good. We got a pathway. Fine. Oh, do they have their own set of wreckage? That would be the actual biggest possible beating I could get, I think. Yeah, seems right. Just save it. We can play the pathway back on white. Keep it up. At least plays around All Classification number 3. GG's, GG's. Alright, catch you in the next round game. I think we'll play one more. One more match. Furious Walrus, alright. Nice name. Like that. See what our opponent's on. Another fast forward minute. I don't know if it's a server thing. Solid, decent, we'll keep this. Opponent did go to 6. Ooh. Been a while since I've seen one of those. Couple of different options. Could be like red white robots, red white like artifact aggro. Could be hammer. Could be vehicles. I've not seen a vehicles deck in Explorer already. All those things are kind of possible. Okay, looks... Huh. I guess that actually doesn't give us any information. Still, like, could be hammer with equipment, could be vehicles. I don't think I want to trade it. It starts doing a lot of damage, but I think that's fine. We're relying on it a bit here. The Supreme Phantom attack fatigue. Try and play spirits. Just play to board like fish. Okay, Mutable. Oh, unless. Okay. See, this is says warrior, but could also just be, you know, creature type dwarf, which is where I think this is going. That's what it looks like anyway. I actually like holding the Spike apparition in case they have another Fairgrounds Warden. Yeah. Alright. Still potentially chance for this to be hammer, but hey. They've also played Shram and no other cards to trigger it. So maybe we just have a bit of a weekend. Fun fact, I have a Depala EDH deck. Cabana deck. That's fair. Yeah, I guess they don't have any artifacts to sacrifice to power up the Supreme Phantom. You can see it up here, go in. I will spot the Alright, at this point... You take the Fairgrounds Warden. What's hoping is I get, you know, the extra Mausoleum trigger damage this way. They're just going to keep it up. Fair enough. We don't know a ton. We know that Portable Hole is going to be good. Another matchup where I think the Saddle might be good. This might be the extent of our sideboarding. Maybe this Catilda comes in. I don't necessarily hate making the same changes we did last time. Taking out the Lofty Dials. Are they playing any expensive cards? They showed Fairgrounds Warden. Doesn't really qualify. They're going to be on the play as well. I actually kind of like boarding the Lofty Dials out on the play versus a lot of decks, but versus like mid-range control, fires, that kind of thing, you want them anyway. I guess I really just mean versus aggro. It's more that you can board them back in sometimes on the play versus some of the slower aggro decks that don't have just infinite 1-drops. But we're still kind of a bit of a mystery as to what we're up against here. We saw Volt. I don't love Selfless Spirit, but also, you know, it trades okay. I'm going to do this again, where I cut an Eagle and a Spirit. If they're not super aggressive, we maybe don't want the second Catilda, but we did see, like, Toolcraft Exemplar. If they go like Toolcraft Exemplar, Heart of Crown, we're all of a sudden in a ton of trouble. Back in the waiting game. Very solid. Could have either way. We'll leave Mars in Wonder. You're not to. Oh, one like huge thing that has flown slightly under the radar is that they didn't print open the armory in Shadows Remastered. It is torn. Maybe they're playing a Dragon at Tifa. It's a little less likely. I just want to get rid of Magda here. I don't want to mess around with this. You can... I would like you to not have loads of fast mana, please. Pretty solid cav. For us, at least. Magda enables some pretty busted stuff with the treasures. Especially if you're playing dwarves just in general. There is a Depala. Oh my gosh. Alright, okay. Depala's a bit of a card advantage engine. Obviously buffs all your other dwarves. But that ability to pay X and get creatures, like dwarves and vehicles, is powerful. We saw Stram, so they're presumably playing some number of actual dwarves. I think getting rid of the Depala is a good idea. Maybe not a hot take. Let's just keep it up. Fair enough. That has been Bant Spirits. I will do later on down the line a video on the blue-white version of the deck. I've done a couple of videos on the mono-blue version as well in the past, so feel free to check those out if you're interested in that version. That's really sweet. Again, if you made it to the end of the video, please do drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. I'm trying to hit 1k, which is a way off, obviously, but maybe by the end of the year. Who knows? Who knows? Alright, thanks for watching. Peace out.